So we learned from the last lecture that we could add the following line of code to the top of our test file in order for us to have access to the Cypress command library. For example, in the previous lecture, we know that as long as we add that line of code to the top of the file, when we type the keyword CY, we then get presented with a list of available Cypress commands. So now what we're going to do is we're going to extend upon our test. So what we're going to do is, first of all, access WebDriverUniversity.com, and then we're going to click on the Contact Us button, enabling us to have access to the Contact Us page. So before we go ahead and implement more code, what we're going to do is we're going to open up Cypress. So what we're going to do is type node_modules in the terminal window. So if you don't have a terminal window open, we can click on the top nav, terminal, and new terminal, and ensure it's aligned to bash. Because if you remember from the setup modules, we also installed Git. So what we need to do is in the terminal window, type node_modules. Then we're going to type /bin/Cypress, and then open, and then press enter. So if you remember from the previous lectures, what this specific command will do is it will open our test runner. So it may take some time. Okay, so as you can see, in the test runner, we have one file listed, which is our U test file. If we left mouse click on this specific test file, we should then see the template for our test. So as you can see now, it's showing us the Mocha template, so the description, and it's showing us the descriptions for each and individual test that we defined in the it block. And as you can see, the test runner knows that we haven't implemented any commands, Cypress commands, in each of the individual tests. And a key note as well is if you want to end the test runner, you can click the stop button here, and now that will close the browser window that we opened. So this browser window here, it opens, but we click stop, it will close that specific instance. Okay, so the first step, what we need to do is we need to visit this given URL. So if we go back to the Cypress documentations, and if we scroll down, what we need is we need to use the following command, which is visit. So as you can see, the description is visit a remote URL. And if you look at the usages, it's using cy.visit, then you specify the URL. So what we're going to do is we're going to use this specific command in our test to access WebDriverUniversity.com. So if we go back in our first test, so we're only going to implement the first test case for the time being. So we already have CY there. If you don't, type cy.visit, which is the second option. And then what we can do is add the following, go back to the browser, copy this URL, simply paste it like so. So now, if we go back to the runner, click on the following available test, And as you can see, perfect. It's now accessed the WebDriver University homepage. As you can also see, the dimensions are a little bit smaller, but don't worry, in later lectures, we will be looking at how we can change viewport sizes. So the next step that we need to do is we need to click on the Contact Us button. As you can see now, I'm remaining in the Cypress, I'm leaving the Cypress test runner open, and I'm using the following instance. So I'm not going back to the browser here. I am now going to interact with the website using Cypress's runner. So that's another key benefit of Cypress, is you don't have to keep jumping back to the browser. You can a lot of the times just interact with the system within Cypress's runner. So the next step, we need to click on the Contact Us button. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to use some of Cypress's really great features, and one of them is the Selector Playground. So I'm going to click on this following option here. I'm then going to go over to our Contact Us button, like so, and ensure that you select the Contact Us. So you can see it's highlighting that web element. Ensure you have it in the same location as I have it. And as you can see, it's also showing you what the selector is. So what I'm going to do now is left mouse click. And as you can see on the top here, it's now preserved that selector. So what I'm going to do, there's an option here to copy to clipboard. Click this option. It's notified that it's copied. Go back to our test. Below the visit, I'm going to paste that recommended command. And then if we go back to Cypress documentation, we know that we need to click on that specific element. So if we scroll up, you can see there's a click command. The description is click a DOM element. And if you look at the following usage, it's similar to what we've done. We've found our web element using cwire.get, and we're going to click on that element. So now if we go back to our test, we can finalize our statement with the following. So we've visited the URL, we've used cwire.get to find our element, and then we're performing the Cypress click command. Now, if you're asking yourself, what does cwire.get do? So this specific command, you can use the official documentation, or you can use the official documentation within VS Code because it's linked to the Cypress library. And even if you highlight the code and keep your mouse cursor still, you can see it also provides you with a description. As you can see, it says get one or more DOM elements by selector. The querying behavior of this command matches exactly how $ whatever that is works in jQuery. So that's basically referencing jQuery. That's how you can find specific matches using jQuery. So basically, all cwire.get does is it finds one or more elements on a page when you specify a given selector. So save the file. If you save the file, you'll see that Cypress will automatically trigger the test. So just to confirm this, I'm going to close these new tabs. I'm going to add a space to the file and then click save. And as you can see, Cypress triggered the test on its own. So that's another key feature of Cypress, is that when you make changes when you click save, you don't need to manually keep triggering the test. Cypress is going to do that for you. If you want to manually trigger the test, you can just click here again, or if I click stop, click our test, and as you can see, it's going to start triggering our new test, which has worked as well. As you can see, it's gone to the following web page, and it's clicked on the following button, and we can confirm this because a new tab window has opened, and also you can see the before and after actions. So before is prior to clicking on our element, after is once it's clicked on the element. We're not seeing anything because once you've clicked on this specific element, a new page opens, new tab opens. So in the next lecture, what we're going to be doing is we're going to further enhance this test and look at how we can apply options to our commands, 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 commands.